They're all in. The light blinking. The field set to go. Gates have opened, they're off, and Jazz Session away beautifully from the inside with Nobility and Universal Flair, made in Mexico. Behind those, Colossal Military Power next. Nobility pressing on here as they come onto the course proper. Worked its way to the lead from Universal Flair. A length and a half away on the inside, the favourite next, Jazz Session, down on the inside of Made in Mexico. And then Military Power with Colossal drifting back on the rail. Nobility is the leader. They've got 500 to run, and it's snuck almost two in front of Universal Flair. Down on the inside, O'Donnell had Jazz Session up there third. A bit more than a length, Made in Mexico, Military Power, and further back is Colossal. They've gone to the 300. Nobility in front, kicked away, but off the fence comes Jazz Session. Military Power joins in as well at the 200. O'Donnell has to get to work on Jazz Session. Military Power's on terms. Down the outside, Colossal finishing hard. Jazz Session, Military Power, the favourite, kicking determinedly though. Jazz Session wins it from either Military Power or Colossal, and then Nobility, Made in Mexico, had dropped off, and likewise Universal Flair, who finished back there at the rear. Fighting win by Jazz Session. Sean O'Donnell, but had to really lift the short price favourite to the line. It will be 9, 4 and 2. After the running of race 6, 7, fourth Nobility. Jazz Session had to be ridden with a lot of gusto by Donga O'Donnell at a second run in the campaign after being beaten a whisker on return. She has won by about a neck here in the third leg of the quaddie. Ultimately, she justifies the 160, towed up in behind Nobility, who did kick, but as it did, it allowed the favourite to come away from the fence pretty nonchalantly. But Military Power, a good run, and likewise Colossal from the back to make up that ground. And O'Donnell knew that he had a race on his hands there, and he had to really lift her to the line for owner Ian Rickwood. She's a Sessions mare from Jasmine up, and she's now won 3 of 11, prepared by Justine Erkelins, who could not have turned her out looking any better than she has this afternoon. She really carried a lot of appeal into the yard, and with punters at the shorts and on the line, she has got the job done by a neck. A short half head second and third, 9, 4, 2 and 7 the numbers. Military Power is by Defcon, trained by Jim Taylor, ridden by Jared Noski, and third home 2 Colossal by Schnitzel, Jordan Turner for Chris and Michael Gangemi, and back there in fourth placing 7 Nobility. Made in Mexico, didn't fire. Universal Flair over the speed, hunted the pace, but dropped out ultimately to finish back there near enough to last. Speaking of the last, we go to race 7, the Schweppes Handicap over 2,200 at 5:20, and the biggest field for the afternoon, a field of 14. And all riders are as published in the guides. As we take you back to Lockie Taylor, who joins us once again in the yard.
Thanks, Darren. Yes, the short price favourite gets the job done in Jazz Session. Justine Erkelins is just catching up with her loyal owner and a couple of other connections. But Jazz Session, she was well backed. She was $1.80 into $1.60 with the WOP. She looked like the short thing of the day, Scott, and there was a few nervous moments throughout because Sean O'Donnell had to wait and bide his time at stages, but when the gap did eventually come, she was able to shoot through and get the job done.
That was going to be the only thing if she was crossed, whether or not she'd get out, Lockie, but in the end, all's well that ends well for those players at the shorts. She got the job done nicely.
And I'm now catching up with winning trainer Justine Erkelins. Justine, it wasn't the easiest of watches. She needed a bit of galloping room at stages, but her class shone in the end.
Yeah, no, Sean rode her terrific. You know, just we knew there was going to be a bit of speed, so we just sit off it and let her do the rest. So
she was awfully close to winning first up. She may have even gone home thinking she was a winner. What is her ceiling? Do you feel like she's a genuine Saturday type?
I do think so. We always had the thought. She had a few little issues, like she just was a bit young in the brain than what she looks, but she's come back really well this prep, so it looks like she's putting it all together. So we'll just take her through the grades and see where we get to.
How's Own the Queen looking ahead of the Bunbury Cup on Saturday afternoon?
Really good, drawing a good barrier, so couldn't be more happier.
Fingers crossed for some luck. Well done here.
Thank you, bye.
There's Justine Erklands, and here's Sean O'Donnell catching up with Scotty.
Well, Dong, you probably went to the line with BG the other day thinking that you may have won.
Yeah, it was a tough photo to lose. Thought if we didn't win, it was a dead heat, but geez, obviously the horse that beat her was deserved of the win, and it was a fitter horse on the day. She's come here today a lot better with that run under her belt, and it proved like she didn't streak him, but she held him strong to the line, so good effort by the team and the horse.
Barrier number 1 can be great. It can also be tough work. What was it like for you out there?
Yeah, not too bad. I knew Renee's horse would lead, and I'm watching Pike, his horse, get in the corner. I could see he was just off the bit, so I was happy. Sometimes it's very tricky. You have to wait, and sometimes those runs don't come, but today it was very graceful. She done the rest. It was lovely.
Now, we heard during the week that Dealer had gone to the paddock, which is obviously, first and foremost, hopefully that she can come back bigger and better next time in because she looks really exciting. But for you, what it means is back on Machine Gun Gracie.
Yeah, it's amazing how the world works, isn't it? You know, I'm lucky I got another good stable behind me and that horse to get back on. It was a shame for the connections and Trevor and Joe that she went a miss. I don't think it was anything serious, but she just needs to go for a rest, and I'm sure she'll come back strong, and looking forward to the ride on Saturday now.
Go on, finish it off.
Love to the wife. Cheers.
There's Sean O'Donnell. He's an absolute ripper, one of our favourites here in the West, and he combines with Justine Erklands once again. This time it's with a nice mare moving forward in Jazz Session, taking out the penultimate here at Belmont Park. On the other side of the break, we'll head back to the boys for more action from Wednesdays in the West.